Citizen of the Year banquet. We appreciate everyone's efforts in making this banquet banquet take place. We'd like to thank the 300 Club for being good hosts and hostesses. I would like to thank everyone in the Community Association for their support and for all who have taken part in helping tonight. I'd also like to give a very special thanks to Ray Ash. Ray's our ticket sales manager, and we all know we couldn't find a better one. Speaking of Ray, I have often wondered, and I imagine many of you have wondered, how he maintains those youthful good looks and that longevity all these years. What is his secret? Clean living, he says. Well, I think there's probably more to it than that. Last year at this banquet, Ray kind of alluded to what that might have been. The festivities were kind of winding down, and Ray said that he and Dorothy had lived a lot of different places, and but they really enjoyed it here, because here you feel like you belong. And it was kind of one of those rare moments when Ray was serious. And at the time I didn't, I guess a lot of things that Ray said, I didn't think too much of it. I was going through some of the literature that we received in the office, and I read an article from the University of California Wellness Center, and they were talking about the secret to maintaining your youth over the years, and the article discussed a number of things. But one of the things it did mention was that a sense of belonging is very important. So it may be one of the first times that we have documented proof of something that Ray has said. But I thought that was good news for a lot of people here tonight, because I'm sure most of you in this room have been quite involved in our community, and at times it may seem like almost too involved, because every organization certainly needs help. And I guess the point of everything is the organizations definitely need your help, and really we have proof now that it's good for you to help. And if you want the scientific legalese language, you can write the University of California. If you'd like some straight shooting, just go down and talk to Ray at the bakery someday, and he can tell you all about it. We also have a group of people here tonight that know what it's all about, being involved in the community, and we are very appreciative of that group of people. That's why we are gathered here tonight. We like to honor an individual or individuals who we feel have been exceptional in their efforts to make this a better place for all of us. And first I would like to introduce all of our past Citizens of the Year, and I would like those who were able to attend tonight, if they could please stand, and then if we could hold our applause until they're all up, and then let's show them our appreciation. Our first Citizen of the Year was Louis St. Angelo, then Clara Witucky, and then Clifford Erickson, then Alan Staples, Ray Glenn, Jewel Zinn, Wallace Early, Bill and Gudrun Johnson, Roy Tibbetts, Bernice Asper, Wallace E. Anderson, Herman Hansen, Dr. William Fisher, Lucille Clausen, we left a little hint this year. I don't know if any of you saw it. We didn't mean to, really. We started blowing balloons for the decorations, and we found out we had the wrong size. That might be why you can't see them. They're kind of mini balloons. But I have some big long balloons at the office that we blow up for the kids sometimes. And we blew up one of them just to see what that would look like. And that didn't look like much hanging up there either. So we put that on the podium here. We made a C. And many of you probably think that that stands for congratulations. But it really stands for our 1987 Citizen of the Year, Charlie Anderson. And we have some friends that you may know, Charlie, coming in the door here.
Good luck, Charlie.
I guess allude to the rest of the community a little more about you. One of the things that Charlie has been involved with over the years is he's kept track of a lot of wine in Frederick.
Congratulations. We're glad to see that you are being honored at this time. Charlie was one of the first people that I met when I came to Frederick because he was there to set up the Holy Communion for my first Sunday in town. And I found out after being here for a year that between he and his wife, they did that for more than 40 years. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, this year is the 44th year. That says something about his devotion and the fact that he has never missed a time of setting that up. Not even opening day of fishing season. And if you know Charlie very well, that's a pretty important day for him. The other time of the year that Charlie is very busy is when the blueberries get ripe. And one of the things I asked him, he brought me some blueberries 2 years ago when there were quite a few. And I asked him if he'd show me where some of the good patches were. And he was unwilling to do that. Not even his pastor would he share those special things that he has learned over the years where those good blueberries grow. One of the things, whoever's waiting on the head table tonight, can I give you an extremely important warning? You make sure you keep Charlie's cup of coffee filled, or he will terrorize you like he does the waitresses at the bakery. I pretty near fell off my chair the other day because Charlie came in and sat down and was sitting there for about a minute and a half, and they didn't wait on him. And the young lady is his next door neighbor, and he gave her quite a shake-up by saying, "Where's my coffee?" I guess the other part of that is you've got to know that Charlie also, when he hands his money to the girls who wait on him, has a kind of a special thing he does. Now, anybody who's seen this can tell me whether they recognize it or not. I don't think I can do it like he does. He puts the money there and then he goes like this. Almost. One of the ladies was telling me that Charlie did that with eggs in the grocery store. And she remembers that about him. One of the things that Charlie has done since I've come to town is that he has resigned his commission as Justice of the Peace. And I'm kind of pleased about that because I don't have to compete with him for the weddings anymore. Charlie, congratulations. We are proud of you. We thank you for your dedicated community service and for your service to your Lord and your church. Have a good night.
It seems that Charlie has also kept track of a lot of the women in Frederick. Making sure that they had good shelter and a nice roof over their head. And he didn't include just women in this, but he's been involved with the Frederick Housing Authority for a number of years. And next we're going to have Bonnie Anderson have a few words to say about that.
Because you are honoring one of my favorite people. I've been waiting for weeks to see Charlie's face when he was named Citizen of the Year. I feel that there is no one in Frederick more deserving of this title. He has served on many boards, and he always does this in a very quiet way, never expecting praise or thanks. I have known Charlie only a short time as compared to the length of time that many of you have known him. Charlie has been one of my bosses since April of 1972 when I became director of the Housing Authority. But he's been more than a boss to me. He's been a real special friend. Charlie has been on the Board of Commissioners of the Frederick Housing Authority since April of 1967. At that time, Leo Coyer was the chairman and Charlie was vice chairman. Other members of that board were Jens Fossum, Bob Thorsbakken, and Fred Dahlberg. Charlie was elected chairman to the board in June of 1974 when Leo retired because of health purposes. The 21 original housing units of the Frederick Housing Authority were ready for occupancy in 1970. And the name Sunrise Apartments is a very appropriate name for that building because it is located on one of the choice lots in the village, and that's on Coon Lake. And that was just a special thing for this Board of Commissioners to do because usually a housing authority isn't put on a very special lot like that. And then Charlie was also very instrumental in obtaining a second housing unit, and that's Golden Oaks. And by the way, that was the name that Charlie picked out for that unit. And those units were ready for occupancy in April of 1982. Charlie has always been ready to go the extra mile to help someone, and I know he has a warm spot in his heart for the elderly of our community. And now we have 53 units of housing for that segment of our population. Charlie always has a story to tell about his baseball days or hunting or fishing or berry picking, and I always believe whatever he tells me. I've gotten a lot of pleasure and information from the stories he's told, as I'm sure many of you have. Charlie always has a good joke to tell, and one of the best parts of this celebration is that we put one over on Charlie for a change. And Charlie will be retiring from the Housing Authority this spring, and we will really miss him. So on behalf of the Commissioners of the Frederick Housing Authority, the residents of our building, and myself, I want to wish Charlie the best of everything in the future and to express our thanks and appreciation for your years of faithful service and for a job well done. It's been a pleasure working with you, Charlie. We'll miss you. Thank you, and we all love you.
The company, I think the real truth is a fishing partner can confirm your stories. Anyway, we have one of Charlie's fishing partners here tonight, and he will be up next, and that's Mr. Bob Larson.
I came into the store we had in town. Charlie was working there at the time. He said to me, "How about going duck hunting with me tomorrow morning?" I said, "That's swell." He says, "Okay, I'll pick you up 4:15." And that's about the time you get up again to go duck hunting with Charlie. I have also enjoyed all his berry picking and his deer hunting, not only with him, but also with his family, which I have enjoyed very much. I'm just going to make this short. Congratulations, Charlie, and it's good to see all of you here.
Very pleased to have one of those back again tonight. He's been here the last 3 times, and I think he's beginning to think we rigged this thing because Bud Johnson has been pretty close to the last 3 citizens of the year. And so, once again, Bud worked with Charlie, so we called Bud, and he said he'd be happy to come up. And he brought his friend George Rydell with, and we're going to have them up now, and they're going to play a couple of tunes. It'll be just a second, Bud says.
I've followed you for so many years about Citizen of the Year, and you won the pretty deservedly, really. And Charlie, I worked with Charlie for quite a few years, and I tell you, he's the finest guy I ever worked with in my life in the business. And as far as himself, he's the finest guy too. And the best fisherman and the best hunter too. He taught me how to fish trout. Didn't he, Wendell? He did. And we caught a lot of trout. Remember all the trout we used to catch? Charlie's quite a fisher. We get on the stream and we bait up. And that's the last I see of Charlie. It's like a deer. He's right downstream. Never see him until he come back with some of the big ones. Where'd you catch those, Charlie? Oh, down there, way down there. Here we come back with little ones. We come back with the big ones. Well, that was something else. And it's nice to see your family too, Dick. I haven't seen you in years. Well, I haven't seen you for a long time. And this is your daughter. Gosh. It's something else. For many years. I don't know, I guess everything's said. That's, I don't know. I ain't much to say. I didn't make a speech up or anything like that. But, I know, congratulations, Charlie, again. And you well deserve it, I'll tell you. Something else. And we're going to do a couple numbers here. Dylan, yeah, that's a good one. George, sure. This is George Riddell. Charlie, you hear me, George? Dedicate this one to you, Charlie. There'll never be another you. That's Charlie. I remember when we was working at the store, whenever it rained, you know, had a good shower or something like that, all at once we wouldn't see Charlie. I'd ask Viola Peterson, she was working at the store at that time. I said, "Where's Charlie?" "Gosh, I don't know. He's gone fishing." As soon as it rained, streets of gold, Charlie goes fishing. I remember that. That was key. Anyway, we're going to do one. Misty for Charlie. It's, yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Now we'll let you continue with your party. So, see you later. Thank you.
And so it wouldn't be fair if we didn't have the competition up here to have a few words. So we're going to have Les Rowdy come up and say a few things.
Charlie and family. Charlie, do you mind if I say a couple extra words that aren't too nice to say at times? You'd be surprised. I'm not going to say about you. I'm going to say about the Master of Ceremonies. We got one of the best Master of Ceremonies that we've ever had that I know of, but he's sneaky, like his dad. He's a smooth talker. He calls up and says, talks to me for about 10 minutes before he finally says, say, Les, would you do me a favor? He's a good man. Another one I've got to talk about is Pastor Wickstrom. He took one of the best parts of my speech away from me. So I don't know what I'm going to say now on the coffee deal. But we'll start out anyway, Charlie. Brad asked me if I'd give a little rundown on Charlie. He started out by telling me, Brad, that you're about the only old fellow I know that knows anything about Charlie when he first come. That's the way you said it, Brad. Well, from what I gathered, Charlie, I've tried to come within reason anyway. From what I was given to understand, you were here quite a few years before I came, and I came in '46. And as I understand it, he worked for I.C. Olson at that time, and exactly when he went to manage the co-op store, I don't exactly know. But I do know one thing. I've talked to a lot of people, and every time I've talked to them, Charlie, oh, you mean the baseball player? I think your baseball kind of got you about more than anything else, didn't it? I understand from your baseball players, a few of your old-time friends, they were saying that, well, I don't know if he knows so much about baseball, but you really made fun out of the game for all of us with his jokes and good-naturedness. As far as I know of in Frederick, there isn't anybody that can have as much fun as Charlie, both in the past and even now. Now, as a co-op manager, and I was right next door to him, I don't think we have any fights that I know of, being competitors. About the only fight I know of is Wendell, his boy. He used to come into the back of the store and he used to wrestle with me and tease the daylights out of me. And the only one I know of that he could possibly have gotten that from was his dad. Is that right, Wendell? Okay. We had a lot of fun. Then back in those days when Charlie and I were running the store, it isn't quite like it was now. And back in those days, we didn't have any self-service. When somebody came into the store, they brought you a slip of paper like this here, and then we went around and picked up all the groceries for them, put it on the counter. We didn't have a cash register. We had one, but it only run the boat. So we had an old adding machine. But we got by, didn't we, Charlie? We had a lot of fun back at that time. We made fun out of it. The only way we could sell watermelon, cantaloupe, so on and so forth, we took a grocery basket, we load them full of groceries, I mean watermelons, cantaloupes, put them out in front of the store, hoping that the customer would come in and pay for it. Well, once in a while, Charlie's melons got paid for in our store. Once in a while, our melons got paid for in his store. But I don't guess we ever had any fight over that one either. My wife says, remember the time when I saw so-and-so pay for our melons over to his store? We made fun of it. We had lutefisk. I don't know if very many of you people know about lutefisk, but Charlie and I can tell you about lutefisk. This is a Scandinavian country. When I first came, there was nothing to sell 25 or 50 tons of lutefisk. Now, I don't know how many of you people even know what that stuff is like. You might have eaten a little bit of some that was in the cellophane package stuff. But if you took one fish and weighed it up on the scale, you could smell your hands the rest of the day whether you washed them 10 times or not. But we still had fun. Trying to get everything down here, Charlie, and I don't know if I can or not, except that I want to add one thing to it now. I think as a competitor, Charlie was as nice and clean as a competitor as I've ever had in my life. Thank you, Charlie.
Many of you have probably heard the phrase picking and grinning and maybe associated it with some of the country music stars. But they really stole that term from Charlie and his friends. Whenever they went picking and they found a nice patch, they would start grinning. We asked Wendell what would be an appropriate centerpiece for Charlie tonight. He said, I think ferns and blueberries would be better. At any rate, our next speaker is one of Charlie's picking buddies, and he's also a former Citizen of the Year, Mr. Roy Tibbetts.
It is indeed a delight for me to hear all the good things people speaking here tonight say about Charlie. They indicate so well that they have noted the good things that he has done in this community. They are happy to see him honored here because they feel he is most deserving. Personally, I want to add a bit of enlightenment on the blueberry department of Charlie's life. I think I have a little bit on the master there because I have picked blueberries with Charlie quite a few times. I feel I can do that well because I've endured 20 years, quite a few sessions with him in this endeavor. To begin, I can state that he can find a blueberry patch when others declare there are none to be found. When he has found it, he can pick the berries faster or longer than anyone in this area. Without bragging, I'm no slouch myself at this patch. But I can never outpick him. Many of you here tonight are aware of all the miseries connected with the picking of those wild berries. The insect pests the daylights out of the pickers. Charlie doesn't seem to mind. I think he makes friends with them, and they have a tendency to him alone and come to me. And all the hot sun beating down hotter than in the berry patch than anywhere else in the region. He doesn't seem to mind. After 2 or 3 hours, one's back begins to ache. Hey, hey. Charlie isn't bothered. He remains cheerful, keeps right on energetically in the process of filling his pail with tasty little berries. In passing, may I reiterate, it is so good to see the people of our Frederick community recognize Charles as Frederick's 1987 Citizen of the Year.
At this time, we'd like to hear from a few of the family members. Do we have a spokesman? Wendell, would you like to say a few words? And
My son Tracy, why don't you stand up, Tracy? My daughter Lori. Lori can't stand up. Kind of heavy. And my oldest son Brad. And Brad's wife Melissa. Great-grandchildren. Margaret, Elizabeth, Robert, and Brad, and Jeremiah. And Lori's husband Bob, and Tracy's friend Mary. I thought about what I was going to say for quite a while, a few days at least. I'm going to just tell one deer hunting story, so it won't take too long. One day we were up on the Moose Road. There was probably Henry, Billy, myself, and a couple of other folks. I can't remember right offhand, but my dad and Hank and I were going down the Moose Road, and my dad says, well, the only way we're going to have a chance to see any deer is for us to spread out, get towards the Spruce River. So my dad said, Hank, you be in the middle. When we get to the Spruce River, you stay in this particular spot, and one will head west and I'll head east. So it's quite a hike into the Spruce River. And we finally get in there and we met Hank. And in the meantime, my dad had gotten his feet tangled up in a bunch of blackberry brush and he'd fallen down. His face was all scratched up just like he got tangled up to the mountain lion. And I looked at him and the blood, of course, had frozen on his cheeks. Hank Billy looked at him. Charlie, aren't you going to wipe that blood off your face with some snow, or don't you give a damn?
Charlie, if you could come up here, we've got a couple things for you. We have a boutonniere that I was supposed to pin on you at the beginning of this, but we'll get that on you. And we have a plaque for you. It says 1987 Citizen of the Year, Charlie Anderson. And then we have a gift for you from the Community Association. It's a money gift this year, so you can spend it however you choose.
nobody knew about. But, there was, at Nye, I don't know how many know where Nye is. Not very many. Well, anyway, this, little country store, and we had everything. Fingernails, barrel shapes, and by-wire, and what have you. But, there was one mistake that I made in my life. There was, an old lady came to the store named Grandma Myers. And she couldn't talk English, and I couldn't understand German. Well, she had a kerosene can. She wanted 1 gallon of ale. I understood that all right. Kerosene she wanted. What happened? One salt herring. And the other stuff I managed to get, and she wanted putty. And I couldn't, for the life of me, understand what the word was. And you know what I told her? Peanut butter. She took that home, you know, and stared out the windows, and of course the stuff wouldn't sing. Said that kid at the store, he told her, honey, that was too old, it wouldn't stick. So, 8 years after it happened, it came out in the hospital or something about the fellow that told the lady peanut butter for honey. I knew who it was. Well, I really appreciate this meeting tonight, and with the friends, that's the best I've seen. Thank you very kindly.
Okay, as in the past, when we proceed to dinner, the dinner is served in the back, and we go around to get it banquet style, and the family gets to go first, so they will lead the way, and then the others can follow, and they prefer if you go around this direction along this wall. Before we go to dinner, we'll have Pastor Wickstrom come forward and give the prayer.
God, that you give special servants and the opportunity to honor and cherish them. Bless now our gathering, this food, our fellowship, in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Around, we will eat, and Bud and George are going to be playing a little music, and everyone will have a chance to visit with Charlie and his family.
just come down.
Hey, get Bill, get the last one.
Hi, Charlie. We got a prompter.
What?
We got a culture here. Give her a script. Put something in your hand.
Anything you want.
know that she ran in the back and never did come out for the rest of the day. If I had known that one, I'd have had that one. I'd have told that one. They just told me that before they left.
There were so many stories that I could have told, but I never got tried.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. See you better, Connie. Yeah.
I shook your hand.
Yeah, thank you.
Getting bigger all the time, sir.
Thank you. Alan, to you. Thanks a lot.
They will give you right home.
I don't have to ride.
Real good.
Yeah, that's I knew.
What did you say, huh?
Take care.
Thank you.